His little pitter patters. Hi, babe.
Hello.
Thanks for being back and being born and crazy.
Thank you for being a
Tell
friend.
me about your shirt. Just kidding.
What the hell? See, this just a little something my cousin designed. A little something something.
A little something something.
Little something something. Little homegrown.
I like the color.
Born crazy. It's Mexican flag colors. It's green B, white O, red R. Green
Well,
K, white
yeah.
R, red A.
It's crazy with the K
White
too.
Z, green Y, crazy with the K. You know when something's spelled crazy with a K, it's gotta be crazy.
It's definitely got to be crazier than if it were to be spelled with the C.
It's just a little bit more crazy than
It's
crazy.
like, I'm crazy.
I'm crazy.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, it's a little crazier.
Yeah.
The K.
Extra crazier.
Yeah, it's my little cousin's T-shirt for his brand, I guess. His
Brand,
clothing brand,
band,
lifestyle,
choice.
lifestyle brand.
Yes, just said that.
Oh,
Brand.
brand.
So let's talk about all the drugs you're on right now.
What the
Just
hell?
kidding.
Let's talk about your drug intake. I'm on the yerba mate. I'm off the freaking indica. I'm off the SSR.
SSR.
I'm off the SSR. I'm off the fucking shit.
You're off the shit.
I'm off the I'm off the fiber gummy.
Yeah. Did you take your Lamo?
I got my Lamo.
Okay. So tell me about your childhood trauma.
What
Just
the
kidding.
hell? Okay, so it all started on a cold rainy day.
Yeah. What happened? Tell me about this cold rainy day.
I was born.
Uh-huh.
I came out and the nurse she said that
Oh
I was
God.
ugly.
Thank you for being a friend.
It's just like,
And this is where we end the show.
I'm like, how graphic do I get?
You don't get graphics because
Oh,
you weren't there when you were born,
I was
so it's
there.
fine.
I remember.
You weren't, your memory wasn't there.
I remember being born, and then I remember just like screams.
So I just want to get to the bottom of this. Let's cut to the chase.
Cut it.
Let's talk about cafeteria school.
What the hell? Let's
Cafeteria
go.
school, when I went for my degree to be cafeteria school.
Oops. Laughed a little
Don't
too
be
loud.
laughing too much.
Damn, cafeteria school. Raise your hand if you went to cafeteria school.
University?
Cafeteria University, USA.
Yes. I just want to know like all the work it takes to be a cafeteria lady. Like what are the qualifications?
You gotta go
Do
to
you have to know like
cafeteria
your
school.
veggies,
You gotta know your veggies.
your meats,
You gotta know your meats. You
your
gotta know what type
cheeses,
of
your
cheeses, your
milks?
milks. Is it driftwood? Is it bag? What is it? You gotta know. You gotta know what you're giving these kids
Yeah.
as the lunch lady. Do you gotta be a lady?
Oof.
Do you gotta like lunch?
Can you
What?
be a lunch man?
You can be a lunch man, but I'm sure they
I've
still
never had a
call.
lunch man.
I'm sure they still call the lunch man the lunch lady
Yeah.
as a sign of disrespect. You gotta know about all the cheeses, the meats. You gotta know what the poor kids are eating. You gotta say, hey, this kid doesn't have money. What are we gonna feed him?
Were you ever eating Tony's? Tony's pizza?
I think we did get Tony's pizza. It was like in a bag.
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah.
in the bag. It has a little chef on the top
Yeah, little chef.
with the hat.
The chef. I remember the chef.
Sometimes that was the best pizza.
Yeah, sometimes they'd have Tony's and sometimes they'd have this slice of pizza that had like a cheese bread crust,
Mm.
but the cheese was like plastic cheese.
Okay, tell me
It was a plastic cheese. And then they give it to us with like French fries, I think.
more. Never got that.
Yeah.
If I'm being really honest, I didn't get French fries until I went to high school.
Damn. Well, the French fries that we got sucked. They were like
Cause,
the crisscross ones.
'Cause I
Criss
think I
crack crack.
remember only getting tots, which was pretty good,
Oh
right?
yeah, we got tots too. The tots honestly suck. They
They
taste like
did,
booty
yeah.
dirt.
I mean, but like the thought of like, oh, you just got tots, like that's cool.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, the tots did kind of suck sometimes.
The tots sucked. The meatloaf sucked.
The lunch lady sucked.
They made this weird ass dish that was like mashed potatoes with turkey and gravy, but the turkey tasted like it was like imitation crab meat. It
Turkey,
smelled weird as fuck.
interesting.
And it had like this real weird consistency to the gravy.
I think you're eating expired meat.
They were giving us expired meats. The lunch lady failed cafeteria school.
Yeah. Do you remember your lunch lady's names?
Yeah, her name was Miss Salcedo.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
think she's still working?
She
Like,
probably still works there if she's not retired.
I had one of my old one of the kids that I went to school with in elementary school,
Yeah.
she reached out to me and she said she thinks
The
that
lunch lady?
she no, the lunch lady did not reach
She
out.
reached out to you?
No, one of the girls that I went to school with,
Yeah.
like in my grade, she reached out to me on Instagram and she said that she thinks that my lunch lady still works there.
What?
Yeah.
That's what she said. Just like, hey, I
I
think the
think
lunch
his
lady still works
I
there.
think his her son goes to school there.
Oh, so she just reached out to you just to talk about the lunch lady?
Yeah, she saw my story.
Oh, oh, I'm
She
like,
just
what?
coincidentally reached out to me. No, she saw my story.
Oh, okay. So she was like, yeah, that bitch still works there.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be
Oof.
crazy if I had the lunch lady on my podcast?
What the hell? And say, why were you so fucking mean?
Why do you realize that you caused me a lot of pain?
Oh my God, you pull a gun out? Eat. You just like make her eat something?
Goes down on the wall.
Oh my God. You eat last.
Yeah, that was
Damn,
my
that's petty.
trauma. If I could, I would.
You want to know my trauma, my lunch lady?
Yeah, let's start with you.
So her daughter went to my elementary school. She was in the same grade as me. And every year we'd have a talent show. And every year the lunch lady's daughter would enter the talent show. And you know what she would do?
What?
She would
Tell
tap
me.
dance.
Uh-huh.
And she was like the tallest girl in the class, like always.
Uh-huh.
Like every year.
Okay.
She's huge, she's tall, and she's tapping the dance.
Right.
And so every year she'd have to, I don't know if she'd have to if she wanted to, honestly. But she would like do a dramatic tap dance performance and it'd
Mm-hmm.
be like 10 minutes long.
Like Irish tap dancing?
Yeah, like fucking what is it called? Like Lord of the Dance. Do you remember that?
No, I thought you were gonna say Luther Vandross.
Like Luther Vandross tap dance. No, Lord of the Dance was some pretty sure it was like Scottish
Mm.
doing river
Do you
dancing.
remember in that scene of the Titanic where Rose is like drinking with the guys and she's all cool and shit, and then she goes, "Yeah, well, can you do this?" And she starts like tiptoeing on her toes, and like all the guys are all impressed because she's like
It's all
tiptoeing.
cringe.
It was so cringe. I was like, "Oh my God, Rose, you're fucking embarrassing me."
It's like a you get secondhand embarrassment from Titanic. It's
And like
a,
Leonardo DiCaprio was all impressed, and he's like, "Oh my God,"
it's like,
and all the guys are like, "Oh my God."
oh
She's
my
like,
God.
"Can you do this?
Oh yeah.
Can you do a little bit of this?"
Oh my God.
Yeah. She's all drinking beers with the guys.
She's talented.
Yeah.
She's got the
What's
talents.
the actress's name?
Um, Renee Zellweger. No,
Basically.
what's her name?
Same lady, same accent.
It's it's that one chick
Kate?
with the no, it's the one with the eyebrows. She's in Revolutionary Road. She's
Is it Kate
in
Winslet?
Kate Winslet.
You just said no.
No, it's not Kate Hudson.
Okay. Kate Hudson's American, I'm sure.
It's Kate Winslet.
Winslet.
It's Kate Winslet.
Yeah. So, anyway, what were we talking about?
So you know the episode of
Tap
not the
dancing.
episode, but I mean you ever seen Camp Rock
With Demi Lovato?
with Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers?
I actually have never fully seen it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's a scene where
I was too cool at that point. I said I don't do Disney.
oh okay, well,
Just
I saw it because I had a little sister.
Good explanation.
Yeah, so she loved the Jonas Brothers. So She would watch anything with Jonas Brothers in it.
Yeah. For me,
So,
I was the opposite. I was like, oh my God, it has Jonas Brothers? No way. Not
wow,
for me. I
that's
don't
rare.
even like it. I just judged it
You're
already.
anti-Jonas?
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Yeah, a
was
lot of
like,
girls weren't at that age.
yeah, well, my age,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
younger kids were like into that.
Yeah, we were in high school for
Yeah.
context. We are like freshmen probably.
I don't know. Okay.
Anyways, doesn't matter.
Demi Lovato,
Demi Lovato's
Jonas
friend
Brothers.
in Camp Rock, they're doing like their talent show thing,
Mm-hmm.
like at their camp,
Mm-hmm.
and her friend comes up and plays like the keyboard, and she's like doing this doing this little dance, and she's
Demi
like,
Lovato's friend.
yeah, and she's like,
Okay.
it's like what it sounds like too.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
she doing a robot or something?
No, she was just playing on the keyboard, and she's like, look what I can do, basically.
Oh,
It was like the equivalent of,
Titanic.
you gotta see it. It had zero effect right now. I couldn't act it out. I'm not Alyssa Stoner.
So, the tap dancer at your school, how did they bully you or embarrass you? Or your
Huh?
trauma?
She didn't bully me or embarrass me. But I mean, I guess her tap dancing every year was fucking embarrassing, and it was also a
You
form of
got
bullying.
secondhand
I
embarrassment
got
and
secondhand
secondhand
embarrassment
bullying?
every year. I felt like I was being bullied by watching that shit. Like I was being forced. It was like the teachers were bullying us.
What would you do and what would you say if I brought out
One time I
the
entered the
girl
talent
that was
show.
tap dancing right now?
I'm gonna talk about this now. I don't
Can I
want to think
do
about
can I
that.
do like a Maury moment
No.
where
No, I knew you were gonna say that. So what if I brought out the tap dancing lunch lady's daughter? And then the lunch lady used to
she's
tap
now part
dance
of the
too.
WNBA, but she wanted to speak with you.
WNBA, she tap dances during halftime. Even the mom would tap dance. She tap dance in the
Was the mom mean?
cafeteria line. Yeah, she's mean. She tap dance, so she tell you like you can't have lunch.
So why were you traumatized?
Because I had to watch her daughter tap dance every year.
Oh, you weren't actually traumatized.
Okay, well, one time the lunch lady asked me to stay late
She
at
hit
school.
you.
She beat me.
Okay.
All
All right.
right.
Any other lunch ladies you remember? I feel like lunch ladies you remember. You see them every day.
Honestly, there was lunch ladies that worked behind the counter, and they would
Mhm.
serve you the food. But the lunch lady whose daughter tap danced every year, she was just whack because if you didn't have like your lunch card or you didn't have your lunch money, she would make you eat a tuna sandwich with celery and olives in it.
Oh, you were telling me about that.
And there's like no tuna in the sandwich. You're just eating like wheat bread with
Sand.
olives and celery.
Mm-hmm.
It was like small little pieces of tuna in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
It wasn't for you.
Definitely wasn't for me. Like, what little kid wants that?
Celery.
Celery and olives with tuna?
I'm just wondering what little kid is like, I love celery.
Just some fucking school shooter kid?
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, it's rough.
You don't think school shooter kids are hot Cheeto kids, right?
Definitely not, no. School shooter kids are kids that are eating celery at lunch.
I guess.
They're eating fucking canned fucking
Can't.
Vienna sausages.
Oof, I used to love Vienna sausages. I'm not gonna lie.
They're school shooter.
I would get so happy when my aunt would have like a can of those. I'd be like, ooh, pop one of those bad boys out.
Pop it open.
Yeah,
Alright.
I really like them.
I had no idea.
Yes.
Alright, well, this Christmas, you want to submit Vienna sausages to I'm being seriously's P.O. Box?
P.O. box. Okay. So I want to start off with me being in elementary school. So let me like create the scene.
Tell me
Right?
about your lunch lady trauma first.
I was already going to tell you about my lunch lady trauma
Tell
before
me.
you even said that right now. I was literally creating the scene. Literally.
Bring out the lunch lady.
Dina, where are you, you bitch?
She comes out like WWE.
I
like,
know.
through the hall.
Fucking- Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
was
what?
gonna say like
What were you gonna say?
forgot his name.
Who?
Rafiki?
Rakishi?
Rikishi.
He would like make them eat his ass?
Yeah, she was fat. She was a big
Oof.
girl.
Most lunch ladies are.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's part of the look.
Okay, so she was big.
Okay.
Let's say sizing, she was probably like, who's that old lady that we always talk about? The white old lady.
Kathy Bates?
She was about Kathy Bates' size.
That's fucked up. She's like, Kathy Bates is our reference of like lunch lady.
She was approximately Kathy Bates' size. She had the haircut of a, I don't even know, like what.
Sinead O'Connor.
No, she wasn't bald. She, okay, let's see. Let's, if I were to
She
really
didn't
think
have it
about,
tied back with the net.
no,
She didn't have
she
the
had
hairnet.
a, like a cut, like a guy cut.
What the hell? Our lunch ladies had the bonnet with the net. You remember that?
Yeah, my lunch lady was, I don't know if, maybe she was a lesbian or if she was
Let's
like,
be honest.
she, like, if you,
If you what?
I was gonna say, like, if you, I know, I don't
Oh
even
God.
want to say it.
If I was a
It was a
lunch lady,
very like butch haircut.
you're saying if I was a lunch
I don't know
lady.
why I felt weird saying the word butch, but
Whoa.
anyway,
Pause.
is is that bad?
The disrespect.
Her hair just reminded me of, who's a good
Lesbians.
reference? No, I don't even want to just single out
Rosie
lesbians.
O'Donnell.
No, Rosie O'Donnell had nicer hair than Tina. Tina had like spiky hair.
Elliot Page.
No,
Pre Elliot Allen Page.
uh, it was really bad. All I can say.
Um, he's got a real bad lesbian haircut. Pink,
I mean, Pink's
the
looks,
singer
just
songwriter.
looks nicer than Tina's.
Damn. So Tina's got her own distinct hairstyle, apparently.
Yes, and it was like
Unique.
orange. It
It
was
was
like orange
orange?
brown. It was
Oh,
weird. She was a bitch.
what the hell? So she's built like Kathy Bates with orange hair.
It was a shortcut. It wasn't a buzz cut, but it was definitely a shortcut that
She didn't
stood.
have.
It like kind of stood up in a way.
Oh, okay. So like fucking Mac's mom.
Yeah.
Just like imagine Mac's mom.
It was like Mac's mom, but she was obviously Kathy Bates size.
So Kathy Bates with Mac's mom's
Hair,
haircut.
not color. Yes, her
Just
hair
a
color was very
orange,
orangey brown.
orange cut.
Weird.
So like a wispy, you know what that haircut reminds me of? That haircut reminds me of like the dude who's like 60 years old and he like still wears like tight pants and
Oh
he
God.
loves like rock and roll and
Yeah.
he's like in a band with like Johnny Depp.
Uh-huh. Leather pants.
But it's not even Johnny Depp, it's just like a dude who like thinks he's Johnny Depp
Mm-hmm.
and he also thinks he's Slash.
Johnny Depp.
There's dudes that like think they're Slash.
Diamond Joe.
Diamond Jim.
Oh, it's Diamond Jim.
It's Diamond Jim, right?
Okay, so she wore an apron.
Okay, an apron.
Apron.
She wore an apron.
She wore an apron
Tina,
and
what was her last name?
never got her last name. Hernandez.
Tina
I'm just throwing it
Hernandez.
out there because I feel like that's right. So our cafeteria wasn't a real cafeteria. It was outside. We didn't have like an indoor cafeteria.
Sad.
Tina, when she served lunch, she was serving out of like a booth.
Ooh,
Yeah,
like a small little,
like a
like a
hut
circus
booth.
booth.
Yeah,
A hut?
the
Is it
village.
a shed?
Basically, it was like a shed. It was very small, and I don't know how or like how the fuck she even stored all the kids' food in there. Like,
How'd she serve you? Did you have to give her something?
yes, we had to give her lunch
You had to
tickets.
pay your toll
Yeah,
as a
toll.
troll.
So we had lunch tickets, and my mom was a busy woman.
Okay, Louisa was busy.
She was very busy. And I know that doesn't sound like a good sign when you're talking about your parents, but
You're like, she was busy. She couldn't give me lunch. She was too busy to feed me.
my mom was a working woman, okay? Both my parents were very busy when I was little.
Okay.
And so my mom, she had to drop us off at my grandma's house or at school actually. And then we would go to my grandma's house after and my grandma would watch us.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was always like in a hurry or running late. I think because she always had a hard time waking us up.
Mm.
So she was always mad. So she would forget to pay my lunch.
Ah, so it's your
Obviously,
fault.
there's no like online system either, right?
Yeah, like to pay for your lunch.
Yeah,
Yeah, you just gotta send your kid with money, right?
yeah. And I was like dumb and quiet and like
Oh,
I don't want to say dumb. That's mean that I said that about myself.
you're hurting your inner child.
Um,
You gotta be kind to your inner child.
I was just very quiet and I was
You're a little
lost.
slow.
I was lost.
You're a little slow.
Oh.
Huh.
And I wasn't a little slow.
You just like we're gonna move on.
And so yeah, so my mom would sometimes forget to pay for my lunch, and the way you had to do it, you had to prepay the lunch.
Like a little card.
I don't know, you just had to prepay it. She would give me the money, and it would be covered for the rest of the month.
Mm.
And then they would give you like this little page of like little tickets,
Okay.
and then you'd cut the little tickets out of this page.
And that's how you'd pay for your lunch.
Yeah,
To the hut.
yeah,
Hut lady.
yeah.
Tina in the hut.
Tina in the Hut.
Tina's hut.
Yes. And
Ooh.
so we would have to circle around this hut. We didn't have trays.
Circle around it like till everyone eats.
We didn't have like a tray or anything.
How'd you
So
get your food?
we would just like line up by the wall and they would be really mean to us. They would yell at us and make sure we were
What the
against the wall.
fuck?
We had
It's
to be against the
Auschwitz?
wall.
A
Yeah.
concentration
We
camp over
could
here?
not be outside of the wall. It had to be against
Oh
the
my
fucking
god,
wall.
what the fuck? They're on a power trip?
And they were sick. They
Oh
were
my god.
sick. They were so sick. So we had to be on this wall, and then we would give the ticket to Tina, and then she'd get our food and then hand it to us, and we were done, and go sit on the outside tables, and that was lunch. So the days that my mom would forget to pay for my lunch, I would get in line, and Tina would yell at me, and she'd say, like, go stand on the wall,
What?
go stand on the wall, and wait till everyone's done eating, and then come back, and I'll call you.
What the hell? She couldn't just give you
She
lunch?
couldn't give me lunch.
What a bitch.
And I had to sit on the wall while everybody was eating. All my friends.
Was there other kids with you?
Most of the time, no.
What?
There was usually just
So just
like
be you?
it'd just be like maybe two or three sometimes, but most of the time
Sad.
it was just like me.
Oh.
And I think some of the kids, like if they didn't have that, they would just like not even eat. And after a while, I just stopped eating too
What
because
the
I didn't want
hell?
to stand on the wall. I just wanted to be
So
with
you
my
just play.
friends. Yeah. No, Miss Ross wouldn't let you just play.
What?
Miss Ross is a whole different
So
character
now you're
here.
bringing in Miss Ross?
Miss Ross is the janitor.
Oh my god. The black lady in the hills.
Yeah, the black lady in the hills. How did you know she was a black lady? Oh, in the
In the
heels.
hills? She lived in the
I
hills.
was like, how'd you know she
She
lived
came
in
from
the
the
hills?
hills.
So Miss Ross, she was like, this black lady. She wore high heels. She wore stilettos to work.
She's like a stripper after work.
She always had like leopard and like she always had like
She was a
it's like
madame?
leopard heels or red shiny high heels, and her nails were always long and red.
What the hell? How was she the fucking janitor? What was
Her,
she cleaning?
I don't know. She was cleaning a lot. She did a good job with the school. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, but she was scary, and we would run from her. We'd be like, "Miss Ross is coming. Get out of the bathroom."
What the hell? What would she tell you?
It was scary. She would just say some crazy shit. I know you ain't hiding in this restroom. You
What
better
the
get back
fuck?
to class.
What was her problem?
She was always just yelling at us.
She didn't like kids.
She didn't like kids. And so,
She had
babe,
to
I
clean up
swear
after
to
you guys.
God, sometimes we would be hiding in the stalls just because, like, I don't know, we're stupid. And and sometimes you would have to like, okay, when you're in a girl's stall, you have the door, right?
Yeah.
And then the toilet. And if you sit your ass on the toilet and you put your feet up, then it looks like nobody's there.
Yeah.
So we would try to do that. And I don't know, sometimes you could get away with it, sometimes you couldn't.
Yeah, she would see you through the crack.
I don't remember. But she was crazy. And anyway, she didn't let us go play. She everyone had to sit at the lunch tables and eat for like a long time. And then we got to go play all together at once. She would call you by like a row and be like, "All right, you can go." You had to make sure you clean your table too.
Oh my god.
You had to make sure you clean your table. You also had to make sure you finished all your milk. You had to, oh my God, she had this way that we had to organize our lunch trays so that way it was easier for her to like organize the trash.
What the hell? All these rules to
It was
eat?
so many rules.
You have to hold your fork like this.
Yeah, and she'd be like, you put your forks there, your trays here, you put this in here, throw this over here in this bag, like make sure you finish your milk. Like she was really crazy with that.
God damn.
And that was like really scary. It was my scary childhood trauma with the cafeteria lady.
Wow. So, I guess you gotta invite Miss Ross.
Miss Ross would be a good character
She's gotta come to the
for
podcast.
this
Miss Ross.
podcast.
Miss Ross, come on out. Woo! You just hear the click clack of her heels?
Yeah.
I told you, better not be hiding in that goddamn stall.
You better finish your milk. And she would make you go sit back down and finish your milk.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
She don't want you to be wasteful.
she didn't. She taught us very much not to be wasteful. And maybe that's
She had you guys doing her job for her.
basically that's how she was able to wear her stilettos
Yeah,
and
and have her
nails
nails and
because we
shit.
did all her
What the
work.
hell? She's like, scrub the toilet. Use the toothbrush. Did you have the little kids working?
The fucking Tina's in the hut just like yelling at kids not feeding
God
them, even
damn.
though our school district, like, right, like we waste so much food from the school districts.
I know, they just throw that shit out too.
And it's like you really had to like humiliate kids
I know, that's some stupid
and
shit.
make them feel like they were
Poor?
inferior or they were poor and make them wait
If I see
and
Tina,
watch
oh man,
everybody have them watch all their friends eating and
that's
like
fucked up.
it's so embarrassing.
So, what would you do if you saw Miss Tina right now?
I'd be like, I don't know, it depends. Is she still working there? Is she not working there?
What if you had the chance to tell Miss Tina how you felt? Would you take it?
Miss Tina, come out.
Miss Tina, come on out. Had Kobe come out with a wig.
You know that character, who's that character? Crash? You know how Crash has like hair?
Crash Bandicoot?
Yeah.
You know that character Crash?
You know he has like orange hair?
Yeah, he's kind of got orange hair,
It's
yeah.
like little bit of hair. That's how
It
her
like sticks up
that's
and
how
it's
her hair was. Like
wispy and
weird. It's like spiky.
it's just like hardly any hair on her little head.
She wasn't balding. She chose to cut her hair
No,
all
she just had a
choppy.
little bit of hair on the top.
Yeah. It's weird.
I know the look. I've seen it.
Yeah. She was very mean. And yeah, she would be yelling at us all the time. Anyway, that was just my story and
How come people who don't like kids get jobs at schools
with kids.
with kids? Like they hate kids or not patient.
Yeah, why?
Not that they gotta love kids, it's a little weird too, but I mean
That's true.
like if they fucking just can't stand kids, why do they get jobs at schools?
Yeah, like
Like a lunch
were
lady?
you ever traumatized by any like
Yeah,
adult
what
at
the
school?
fuck? The supervisors used to be fucking bitches. I remember one time I got in trouble because I told the yard lady she was a fucking bitch.
The yard lady?
Yeah, and I was like 7 years old.
Oh my
I
God.
called her a fucking bitch because she would just like yell at us for like nothing, just like hanging out, staying stuck in one place too long. Like we'd be at like the jungle gym too long, and she'd like yell at us. And she
Hmm.
had sunglasses on all the time. She was just always like had a permanent scowl on, and
Oh my
she had like
God.
jet black hair. And she'd be like, "Get out of here right now before I go tell the teacher. I'm telling the principal."
Oh my God.
She is a fucking bitch. All the other ladies were just. There was even one lady. She didn't speak English, and all the kids would make fun of her.
Because she didn't speak
Yeah,
English.
because she wouldn't say anything. She would just say, "Go play, go play."
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then like this guy Anthony would always walk up to her, and he would tell her, "Go play."
Just repeating
Yeah,
her.
he would say it back to her, and she would get all red and like.
Oh, that's sad.
I know it was like other Latino kids making fun of her too, which is like fucked up.
The craziest part of like me going to the elementary school, which was San Pasqual, it's in Highland Park.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out Highland Park. Shout out San Pascal.
Fuck you, Tina.
Shout out Tina.
I feel like I don't
Shout out Miss
even,
Ross.
I'm not even like bothered by Miss Ross as much as I am by Tina.
You get Miss Ross. You
Miss
get
Ross,
it.
I get her. She didn't want me to be wasteful.
She's a hustler, baby.
She didn't want me to be wasteful. She taught me how to clean up after
With style.
myself. With
With
style,
style.
yeah,
She has
and
self-respect.
sass, yeah,
Miss Tina was just a bitch.
yeah.
Maybe Miss Tina was mad because like
Like what?
she's like wants to be lesbian. She couldn't.
Oh my
It was the
God.
90s. She was like, I wish I could just fucking munch some mops.
Ew. So gross.
Wish I could just kiss a girl on the lips,
Ew.
of age girl on the
Yeah.
lips.
Yeah. Okay. That's good that you said of age.
Yeah, she wishes she can kiss an of age.
Maybe she liked Miss Ross.
Maybe she liked Miss
Miss
Ross, and
Ross
she
is
said,
like
Miss Ross always looking all sexy, cleaning that
the trash
the
cans.
trash cans and cleaning up the trays.
Miss
Ah,
Ross was like the craziest janitor custodian ever. Like she had everything cleaned.
yeah, what you guys doing half for a job? Fuck.
um, damn, I forgot what I was gonna
You're
say.
asking about the adults that traumatized me in school.
Yeah.
You know what? I think it was mostly just like facility people like that, like the
Mm,
yard ladies and shit.
right.
There was one principal, Mr. Wu. He was a vice principal, and he fucking hated me. He like would just always have like this serious face, and I'd always be in his office all the time. I was always getting in
That's
trouble.
why he hated you.
But he just hated me from the moment he met me.
Oh,
And he was just biased as fuck. Like he preferred all the Asian kids over me.
because you were Latino.
Yeah, and he thought my parents were ghetto, and yes, they were. Like the way they'd come get me, yelling and shit, like
Mm.
all loud, and my mom would be yelling at him. Like,
Oh, so this is what I was gonna say.
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say
It better be good.
that because I normalized San Pasqual
Yeah,
and all of the facility people that were working there and were so mean, even
yeah.
some of the teachers.
They
Miss
just all
Showers, I also will
hated
never
you guys.
forget. She was a bitch
Miss
too.
who?
Miss Showers.
Miss Showers?
Yeah.
Like a shower?
Yes.
Miss Golden Showers.
Miss Showers. She was a big black woman.
Oh my gosh.
She wore muumuus every day.
What the fuck?
Lucky. just
Lucky?
just want to say
She's
that.
living it up.
She's a very lucky woman for wearing muumuus every day.
To work?
I wish I could do
What the
that.
hell?
She was very mean too. Anyway, I just want to say that when I went to a private school for middle school for 3 years, I thought it was the greatest thing because the staff was like
You're
so
coming from prison.
they were so nice. Like we had this custodian who was like he was a little like probably had like mental issues or
What
like,
the
you know,
hell?
he was probably a little like slow.
Why did you say that?
He just like was always like smiling and laughing and we would talk to him. He just like wouldn't I don't know.
You just assume he was slow because he's smiling all the time. He loved his job.
No, one of the teachers like told us
Oh
that
my
I
god.
think.
What was his name?
His name was Hector.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hector, if you're listening, you're slow.
Yeah.
Any Hectors out
I
there?
also think there was a language barrier too, but I don't think that was just all of it because
That's true. That might be it.
he worked for the church and he lived with the church.
You know how people, when they don't speak English, they like do that?
They do the smile and laugh.
And then if you don't speak
The
their language, you do the same shit. You're just like,
the Latino smile and laugh and having no idea what they're saying.
see, bien.
See.
It's like, huh.
No, he did say some things in English, but a lot of times he just like I don't know, he didn't get it.
He just smiled.
Yeah.
He didn't get it.
He was super cool though.
Yeah.
Like super nice. He looked after the church and everything. But anyway, so he was like one of the facility people, I guess technically. And then our janitor, his name was Salvador. He wasn't the friendliest guy, but he was doing his job. And he didn't yell at us and tell us to do all this shit. And our cafeteria ladies, I don't even remember them. That's how nice they were.
They were just background characters.
Basically,
They did their jobs.
they just did their jobs and they're,
They fed those kids.
that's it.
I mean, like, your job's not to be fucking mean to kids, it's just to feed them. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
just do your job.
Like, what the hell?
And even though my school was a lot more poor than my elementary school, even though I went to a private school, it was actually really poor.
Yeah. Well, they had to feed you guys because your parents are paying.
Yeah.
Imagine coming home and being like, they
They
didn't feed me and you're paying money.
All
Like,
this, yeah.
the least they could do is feed you.
So everyone was nice. in that school, except for the principal.
Why is he supposed to be Catholic?
She was just this really mean lady.
Actually, Catholic schools are known for having really mean
Principals.
principals and teachers,
She
and
was really mean. Everyone was scared of her, and she was probably the only mean person at that school.
oh my god,
And she had these crazy dark eyebrows, and she would wear crazy dark, like brown, red
she
lipstick.
looked like a gypsy.
She looked, no,
She looked like Jafar.
maybe. She got married to some guy who was a black guy, and her
What
name
the hell?
ended up being Miss Jackson. And so the kids, when they would act up, they'd say, "I'm sorry, Miss Jackson."
Just like a lot of black people worked at your schools, and
Yeah, a lot of
part.
Latinos and black people, I guess, were in the mix.
Okay, and they all hated you
This
guys.
school was in El Sereno. It was in Highland Park.
Okay.
So she was the only mean person. So anyway, that school was so poor and like we didn't have any funding. Like, we were right by the projects, so it was just like it still felt better sometimes in the way of like being treated. I was treated with respect there.
Like a human being.
I had dignity and I wasn't embarrassed. The only embarrassing thing that I experienced at that school was more of like my dad showing up an hour late to
Oh
pick
my
me up.
god. Everyone's dad showing up an hour late.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people's dads showed up an hour late to pick them up.
I wonder if it was traumatic for a lot of people, as it was for me.
I think we take it for granted because our dads had us waiting after school.
Just because I didn't have the freedom to go across the street to the park with all my friends. Like my friends were always at the park across the street, and my parents didn't let me go to the park.
They would just be there by themselves?
The kids.
Yeah.
There was like some adults that were watching them and stuff, but
Ooh.
I don't know.
Just fucking random
They're just
adults?
like like park adults. I don't know.
Park adults? The hell does that mean?
I don't know. There's just like
It's
adults that
weird.
were at the school. I mean, at the park, just like
Yeah,
taking
it's
care of
like
the
there was
kids.
this
And
guy
a
with
lot
a
of the times,
van.
like the sports that we had at our school, they played or practiced across the street.
Oh, so you had like after
So there was
school
like coaches
activity
there and stuff like
supervisors
that.
and shit.
But my parents didn't let me go because I didn't have an official person watching me. Like I didn't have a coach watching me or anything.
Mm.
So they didn't let me go. They
So
said
they
I had to
said,
stay at the school
so like you gotta stay here for an hour?
by yourself
What the hell?
in
How's
this
that any
fucking
safer?
in this parking lot.
How is that any safer?
Yeah, so that was the thing.
Oh, you gotta
And they would get mad at me if I did go to the park.
bring out her parents.
Mom, dad.
Why?
So that was like an embarrassing, not really traumatizing, but it was a little bit like embarrassing for
Sounds fucked
me
up.
to be like alone in a parking lot by myself
Would you do that
waiting
to
for
your
my
kid?
dad. No,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying. Anyway,
I don't even know what to say. I'm just kidding.
I look at your parents differently.
I don't know. Just kidding. My parents did the same shit. They'd have me waiting and be like, the school would call them, pick me up, and then they'd be like, I thought your grandma was gonna pick you up. And
Oh
like,
my
what the fuck? I'm just
God.
all like
Oh,
waiting. But
that would happen too. My dad would send my aunt or my grandma to pick me up because he's realized he couldn't.
you were running late or some shit, and they forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd always be waiting and sitting in the office, like the sun's going down. You're like, what the
It's all
fuck?
nighttime.
Yeah, the administrators are like, do we need to call your mom again?
Yeah, they would tell me that too.
Do you want me to call your mom again? Like, yeah.
Because
All
all
sad.
sad.
Like, yeah, please.
Um,
Can you please call my mom?
I'm like at the verge of fucking tears
I
right
know, I'd be like
now.
about to cry, like, fuck. This is dark.
They
Like,
forgot about me.
you like get home, the news is on. Like, what the fuck? God damn, then they'd get you like, I don't know, they'd give me like 20 chicken nuggets to like,
Sure you
I haven't ate
are.
all day. Like, I had a fucking celery sandwich for lunch. And I got to school late, and then they picked me up late. Like, what the fuck? And I was in the principal's office. No one got me.
I hated being in the principal's office waiting for whoever to pick me up.
Oh my god, that shit used to suck. And then I'd always be in trouble, so then they'd be like waiting to pick me up and tell them like what he
That
did
you're in
today.
trouble.
Yeah, like, and they couldn't even tell
Even
my
the
parents.
principal is already
Yeah,
gone.
they're like, "Ugh, we'll tell him tomorrow. Like, send a letter home."
Damn, it was tough.
It was tough, yeah. It was fucking tough
Do you
having
think
young
there's any,
parents.
like, when you look back on it, do you think there was any positive that came out of that? I hate using the word trauma because I feel like I'm overusing it. I feel like a lot of people
Yeah, you are.
overuse
Stop saying it. No, I
trauma,
was kidding.
but that experience of like shame and embarrassment,
I think you
um,
need a little bit of shame.
do you think there was any good out of any of this?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like trying to like justify it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I could have done without it, but it did definitely make me like, I don't know. Like, I complain about shit that doesn't go my way when I like spent time and money on it.
Hmm.
But other shit I don't doesn't really give a fuck about, like,
Yeah.
because I'm like, okay, if I paid for something, I want what I paid for. Because I remember when I didn't have control of shit,
Hmm.
and then shit doesn't go your way, like when you're a little kid and you're waiting to get picked up.
Yeah.
So I think it made me more like humble because I experienced like being like a poor kid whose parents worked and
I used to envy the kids that had like stay-at-home moms. The
oh
ones that the
yeah,
moms would just be able to drop them off McDonald's for lunch.
oh my god, what? That's all crazy. Like that's also like what, you're giving your kid McDonald's for lunch?
Yeah, she was flexing. I remember a
What a
specific mom that was
flex.
flexing the McDonald's
Damn.
in front of all the kids while everyone's eating shit lunch and I'm sitting on a wall.
God damn. That is kind of messed up because you're like bringing your kid like some bomb food and everyone's eating some trash.
And
Like
everyone clearly sees the
they're
fucking
like,
box
oh,
or
I
bag.
got the kids meal.
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Little kids love McDonald's. So
McDonald's.
they love McDonald's.
Yeah.
God damn.
I think I could have done without all this like childhood elementary school trauma.
I think I could have done without it too,
I think I
honestly.
could have done, and I think my self-esteem would have honestly been a little better if I didn't have to sit at a wall
Oh my
and I wasn't
god.
like yelled at constantly every day. The stress that Miss Ross would cause us
You're
with
still thinking
in
about it.
combination with Tina, like yeah, I'm still thinking about it.
You feel like
I'm like honestly reliving some of this in my memory.
you still have anxiety because of that shit. Do you feel
Possibly.
do you feel like
I
that's
don't
caused
really
some of
know.
your adult
Probably not.
problems?
I don't think I think there was more like family trauma and
That's
other
even
shit
more
that
sad. That means
was
that the school shit was nothing. It was like I know that's how I feel too. I'm like I didn't really think about this shit until you asked me about it the other day.
Mm,
And I was like, damn, elementary school was fucking traumatizing. Like my parents were both like just a few years out of high school and like, like
didn't know anything.
when they had me,
Yeah.
so then they were like early 20s when I was in school.
Hmm.
They didn't have like good jobs and they weren't even like together all the time. I'd just be being passed like house
Passed
to
around.
house. Yeah, like family members have to pick me up and shit, so I'd be getting picked up late.
Yeah. I think that was like one of the privileges I had, like being in elementary school, is that my grandma lived like a block away.
Oh yeah,
And
that's cool.
she would pick us up, all of us kids from the elementary school block away.
Oh my
She
god,
would
you're
pick us
lucky.
up and like we got to all play with each other
The
and it was
caravan
like in a safe house and we had a huge yard and
with all
like
your cousins and
and all
stuff.
my cousins and like we had all these toys. My grandma always had the best
Food.
snacks
It was
and
like a
like
sanctuary after
it
your
was like a
prison
sanctuary. I loved being there. Like I loved being at my with my cousins and my grandmas. It was just a lot of fun.
until you go to prison the next day
Until
again.
prison the next day.
God.
Yeah. So I
Damn.
mean, I guess like, there's always gonna be like the good and the bad in like your experience
Yeah. I
of
had a lot
being
of
a
far
kid.
travel for that shit. I would get I would get driven to Alhambra from Boyle Heights for school every day.
Hmm.
So if I'm waiting, I'd have to wait for them to probably get on the 10 with traffic
Hmm.
and then go home, or like on the 710 from the 60. Probably it's probably how they came. That shit sucked. They'd be like, like I see friends walking home and shit.
Being a kid on the 10.
Yeah, like I would see like my friends walking home because they live like a block away.
Yeah.
I'd be like, damn, they live over here in Alhambra. It's all nice and like I'd have to drive back to like Boyle Heights to my family, and
I would be sometimes like I would want to walk home, but we weren't allowed to. My mom, I don't think my mom or my grandma wanted us to like walk a block away.
oh my
So like
god,
so they always picked us up. But yeah, after that, when I went to my middle school and then I went to Alhambra High School, like I was never close to. I've actually never been close to my house technically, because yeah, my grandma's house was like my house, but it wasn't my house.
yeah, it wasn't where you lived,
So it's like I didn't even live near San Pasqual. Like I couldn't walk there.
so you had to go to the halfway house.
And then I didn't live, walking distance from El Sereno. And I definitely didn't live walking distance from Alhambra. So I was always having to be like driven,
Damn.
which was kind of frustrating because I would envy the kids that could walk home and like
Think about how much time that is. Like kids spend in the car going to and from places.
just looking at the freeway.
I know. Just like I remember looking out the freeway and just like falling asleep in the car and just like
Yeah.
thinking about my life.
I mean, I never even had to take freeways to get to any of my schools, but yeah, I would imagine that sucks.
I hate waking up in the morning because of that shit.
Yeah. I would have to wake up early because my mom would fucking do a whole circus act and fucking drive my brother all the way to Eagle Rock
Oh
High
my
School
god,
and
that's
then make a
crazy.
whole round trip to Alhambra and then go to
What?
Commerce.
Why? Why not just send both you guys to the same high school?
She really didn't like Franklin.
You didn't even go to Franklin.
I know, but she really didn't want either of us to go to Franklin. And my brother was in the gifted or the magnet program in Eagle Rock.
Oh, so that's why he didn't go to Alhambra.
So that's why he went to Eagle Rock.
And that's why you went to Alhambra.
And I went to Alhambra because I wasn't gifted
Oh,
or in the
you don't gotta
magnet.
say that. Cut that. No, it's good.
And yeah, so that's why we went to completely different schools.
Wow. Well, I would say
So yes, I'm very humbled,
I would
all right, because
say
you didn't have to ask why we went to different
oh god.
schools.
I would say you ended up more gifted.
I would say I ended up just a little more, I don't know, independent.
I think you're more talented than your brother.
My brother's smart, but
Yeah.
I'm just more like self-sufficient in a way. I'm cutting this out.
Uh, I think yeah, I think you deserved all that stuff that happened. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think all that shit that happened to me has grounded me to be nicer to people, even though like maybe I don't say nice things all the time because maybe I just like am too blunt.
Oh,
But my intentions are good.
all right. I think we could have done without it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think I would have been more confident if I didn't have to do or experience that shit.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of traumatizing shit that happens to kids that adults just like
That kind of affects their self-esteem.
yeah, they don't realize it because it's just like part of other systems like school, so then they don't really think
Like to
about
them,
all
it's
the
just a job.
layers.
Like imagine like Tina's waking up every day to serve fucking lunch,
Yeah,
and
she
like,
hates her
and
job and
she's
she's
just
like,
like, I don't know how I'm even impacting these kids' lives.
yeah, she doesn't even care about that.
She
She
didn't.
doesn't even think about that.
Yeah,
She's just like going to work and hates it probably.
yeah. And
She doesn't have any hair.
if she's still working there, like what?
She's crazy.
She's crazy.
She's fucking crazy. Tina, if you're listening to this,
Fuck you.
fuck you. Get a new job.
For real.
Just become a PE teacher.
Like what?
We had two PE teachers, and one of them was this old dude named Mr. Olam, and then the PE lady who was his like assistant teacher was Mrs. Olam, but she was a
Not
lesbian lady who was
okay.
yeah, they
Not
weren't
his
related at
wife.
all, yeah.
Okay.
And she was like really fucking mean. She would wear sunglasses and always be chewing gum. She'd be like,
It's
"Hurry up,
tobacco.
get out there!" I think she was chewing tobacco probably. And she was always just like yelling at us to keep running.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she would just be like whistling and like she was fucking weird. She'd be like all weird with like the girls,
Mm-hmm.
and she'd be like telling,
Ew.
yeah, and like the girls would tell us like they'd say like she's weird, like she
Oh
says this and
no,
that. Yeah,
that's
she
sad.
was low key creepy.
That's weird.
Mr. Olin was chill. He was just like a skinny old white dude who like ran everywhere. He was like always running, and he was like, "Today we're gonna do nation ball," and like we play
What?
fucking nation ball.
Nation
It's
ball.
like baseball with a kickball
Okay.
on a baseball diamond.
Oh, we used to do that, and we'd call it kickball.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck nation ball is. Maybe it's another game I thought of.
Because at San Pascual,
Oh no.
we had the little fields, um, and it was like where you played kickball, and it was like little, almost like a baseball field,
Oh
but
shit. Yeah, we played kickball, my bad. Nation ball was like a game of dodgeball where there was two
gosh.
sides, but then we had a the middle of like the tennis court where like the little ball is,
Mm,
or the basketball court.
mm,
People would also get sent to the middle.
mm.
Yeah, and then they can get like freed from the middle. Whatever. It was a sick
Freed.
game, yeah. Some people got sent to the center.
Damn,
I'm like thinking of like the implications of that game. I'm like,
interesting.
fucking weird.
Um,
Anyways,
and
let's
then
talk about
at Alhambra, we just had Super Narc, who was really crazy and scary. And
that's what I was
I
gonna
know
say.
you've heard of him.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say let's talk about school security.
Super Narc.
Well, not specific. I mean, I've heard of him. I've heard stories, the legends,
The legend of Super Narc
the
is
tales and
he
fables.
tackled some kid and injured him,
Oh my God, he took his job way too
and
serious.
he got fired.
That's crazy.
And then his twin brother came
Super Nerd 2?
and was like this nice guy, and like he was like chill. He almost looked like a hippie version of Super Narc.
He was just like,
Everyone was just giving him the side eye, like, is this you?
it was just him in like disguise.
Yeah. It's just a mustache. So that was weird.
Yeah,
Facility people don't know how much they impact kids. And I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
nowadays, like back in the day, a lot of people used to get away with being mean to kids and being like a fucking asshole. But nowadays, like that shit doesn't fly. Like you're being recorded
That shit doesn't
constantly.
fly. That shit doesn't fly now.
It
They're gonna
does
put you on TikTok.
it does not fly.
Yeah, kids have phones and shit.
Yeah, they have rights.
We had a we had a security guard at my high school. His name was Paul, and he was bald. He was an alumni from the high school,
Oof,
and he would wear
tough.
cargo pants with all these pockets, and he had like a gun on
Oh
him all
my
the time. He
God.
wore like commando
A
boots.
gun?
Yeah, he
Like
had
a
like
loaded
commando
gun?
boots. Yeah, a gun, a taser.
Was he allowed to carry around
Yeah, he
a
had a
loaded
license.
gun?
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
No, yeah. He
No,
had a
yeah.
gun on him. He was
It's
armed
like planning
security.
to shoot somebody?
It was a private school, so they gave him a gun for some reason.
Weird.
Well, I was gonna say one time, like he would also take his job a little too seriously. Like,
Super narc.
yeah, like he would catch us, like jumping the fence in the
Yeah.
morning and shit, like coming in late and all stoned and shit, like hiding in like the automotive garage and shit. He was fucked up. Like how much he just was like trying to catch kids doing shit all the time. But I guess that's
Mm-hmm.
why they paid him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one time he also tackled a kid, but a kid tried to stab the principal with
What
with
the
a pen.
fuck? With
Yeah,
a
with a
pen?
pen. He tried to stab the principal with a pen, and then he like ran out of like the front office and ran to like the middle of the street on San Gabriel
The
Boulevard. And
kid?
the kid, yeah, and then the security guard like chased him out and tackled him in the middle of the street.
Oh my
And then the
God.
cops came and picked him up, and there was like
All this drama.
it was all fucking dramatic.
Oh, and then remember I told you about the Raspado man by my elementary school? He had a heat stroke.
Oh, what the
We
hell?
all loved him.
Why you bring that up?
We loved him because he also traumatized me.
you're like every Raspado man I see. I
I mean,
shed a tear.
everyone loved him because we would all get raspados after school. And for some reason, maybe I had money for raspados, but
But
not
not
for
for lunch,
lunch.
huh?
I don't know.
Maybe
Maybe
you
my...
had your priorities fucked up. You're blaming your parents, but really you were just a little chunk.
No, I don't know how that would happen. Maybe my grandma would give us money or something, but
Like you guys would see him on the way out.
yeah, he was at the corner of the school. And one day it was like so hot and he had lines. All these kids were buying from him
Yeah.
and he was making bank.
What the
Like
hell did he sell the hot Cheetos with like
um
Valentinas on?
I don't think he sold the hot Cheetos, but he had the little burritos, the ones
What?
with the
Yeah.
you put lime on them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um and what else did he have?
You
Maybe
didn't,
he had chips. I
you
don't
didn't have
know.
fruit though?
No. And so one day it was just really hot and he passed out and all the kids were all sad. I don't think I was there, if I'm remembering this correctly.
It was that hot. He passed out.
Yeah,
What the hell?
but I just remember the next day. I think we were like trying to get money to like send to him or something like that. Hey.
I gotta do that. Toby's trying to invade the podcast.
So yeah, that was kind of like, kind of a scary thing to experience. Where were you at when 9/11
What the
happened?
hell? Where was I at? I remember I was waking up in the morning and I was like eating breakfast probably before my mom took me to school. And I remember we were like running late and we were watching the first building get hit. Yeah.
Did you end up going to school?
Well, not get hit, but we watched after the first building got hit. It was like, it was live.
Right.
And then we saw the second building get hit. I
Hmm.
remember watching it live. And then I went to school. And when I went to school,
Your mom took you to school?
yeah, my mom took me to school. And then when my mom took me to school, the teacher turned it on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he turned on the news and he made us watch and talk
What the
about it.
hell?
His name was Mr. Toth.
Did he make you write anything?
He did make us write something, yeah. He made us write our thoughts and like feelings about
Mm-hmm.
the day and like what we were watching. It was kind of weird.
I mean,
I was in fourth grade.
if you look back, like, do you remember what you wrote?
Actually, it's not that weird. In fourth grade, I was reading like fucking Stephen King books and shit. I think I was old enough to be like, this is fucked up.
Yeah,
I
it's not
remember,
it's not that weird that you had to write your
no, yeah,
feelings.
it's not. I'm like thinking about, I'm like, that's actually, we were old enough to like
It's actually kind
process
of
stuff.
nice in a way because if you were to save that paper and read it
Read it
now,
now.
it's kind of like, oh my God, this is what I was thinking when I was a little kid.
Yeah, this is how I felt about 9/11 when
Yeah,
it happened.
which is kind of crazy.
He was a good teacher. He was pretty cool.
Um,
He would always, no, that's not, but
yeah, we only have 4 minutes left.
yeah, anyways.
We ain't got no time.
Yeah, I was at school. I remember some kids started crying
Really?
because he was like,
You scared?
my aunt works in the World Trade Center.
Oh, sad.
Yeah, but then it turned out he made it up. So
What? Oh
it's,
my
it's so weird.
God.
I'm like, oh my god, this guy's fucking
Weird.
dumb. And I remember
That
the
guy's
kid with
crazy.
there was a kid with Tourette's, and he was just like, just being loud in class and like trying to make it about him.
Oh, gosh. It's trying to make it about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember my mom was kind of like, I need to take you guys to school. This is gonna be the safest place you're gonna be.
What the
I'm like, what the
hell?
hell, mom?
Like they're
Like
gonna send all the planes out, all the terrorists
she
on them?
trusted like the government and the school system and just yeah, our US government,
What the hell? She
like
trusted the U.S. She trusted LAUSD to
USD,
take care
to
of you.
take care of me and my brother.
Wow. Did she not go to an LAUSD school?
I mean, my mom's from like Mexico, so she thinks that like, America
It's just
at that
better.
time was just like had it together. And we
Yeah.
didn't.
No, definitely
we
not.
and we definitely are more exposed now. So now she's like, yeah, like fuck them. But still at the time she was just like, this is gonna be the safest place you're gonna be.
At school?
At school.
I know, not like the terrorists are gonna send a plane to fucking Highland Park.
I mean, now like this has nothing to do with that, but whenever I hear like a loud plane that's really close, I'm like, is
9/11?
it today?
Yeah, is this 9/11 too?
Is it happening?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I remember after it happened, yeah, I remember tripping out like when I would hear planes really loud. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, is it here? Is it my time?
it's kind of crazy because 9/11 happened like a year after Y2K.
Yeah.
It
Hmm.
was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
It was like the end of 2011
And then
or
all these
2001.
conspiracy theories of 9/11 came out and everything.
Like not even a few years later, like literally like right away. But that's another episode, 9/11
Yeah, we're
conspiracies.
pretty much ending, but
Yeah.
I'm glad we just got to talk about some parts of our childhood
Yeah.
experience.
It sucked.
It was not good,
It
but
wasn't
some of
good.
it, I think there was more good than bad, so let's just go with that.
Yeah. Imagine being homeschooled and you don't get lunch. You're like your mom's a lunch lady.
She's mean. All right. Well, thanks for being here, babe. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
So long.